Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. I had a question from a long-time subscriber. He wanted to know how do I meet people? How did I meet so many people over the past 10, 20 years? And you know what? That's a good question. You know, most of the people some of the best people that I've met in my life has been through mutual friends. And you have to understand that the quality of the people that you meet is going to be dependent upon who you are as a person, whether you're a man or a woman, you know, and the environment where you go. But you have to understand that you get who you are. You don't get what you want. And a lot of people don't understand that because we tend to put the cart before the horse. And when I was growing up, I think today, this is really the best time to meet people. This is the best time to make as much money as you want than ever in the history of the world, in my opinion. Because you have to understand, when I grew up, there was no internet. The way you see technology like it is today, it did not exist 25 years ago. It just wasn't like the way it is today. You couldn't connect with somebody in Brazil through Facebook. That was almost impossible. When I grew up, I didn't know anyone from Brazil. I didn't know anyone that was from Mexico when I grew up. You know, I didn't meet people from different areas of the world until the 90s, late 90s. So today, if I'm 21 years old, I can go on Facebook, I can go on Instagram, I can go on any of these social media sites and connect with somebody and have the possibility of meeting up one day. I can connect with them through Skype. I can connect with them through FaceTime. I can connect with them on Facebook Live. I can connect with them through Facebook now. You can make calls on Facebook. We didn't have this when I was growing up. We didn't have this when I was in high school. So I say all that to say that to meet people, the probably one of the best way to meet people, the fastest way to meet people today is to network with people. You know, and you know, today it's much easier than ever. However, it's much easier to network with people when you're younger, because when people get older, they tend to not be so open. They tend to be to themselves when people get older. I've noticed that with a lot of people. I'm not like that personally, but when a lot of people get in their 30s, 40s, especially 50s, they tend to get set in their ways. They're not very open. They don't travel or move around as much or take trips, or they don't get out during the holidays. They tend to stay home more because, you know, there's a lot of stuff. They got kids, they got family, they got a lot of different responsibilities and everything. But if you're a younger person today, man, it's pretty much wide open today. You know, you can really much meet anybody anywhere on the planet today. And you know, it's really mind-blowing to me compared to where I came from and how I grew up. You know, I remember, like, I got my first computer, desktop computer, in the 90s. And back then, there were no internet connection. You know what I'm saying? I was in high school. This is like 1990. There was no internet connection back then. You know, I know they might have had it at my high school, but us being like, just people at what civilians or citizens, no, we didn't have access like that. I remember when DOS, I'm getting techie now, when DOS first came out, it's like a command. You can put commands in this I guess it's a little box. You can put type commands in the box and get the computer to spit out information and do what you want. I remember when that first came out. That seems like, damn, 20 years ago. Like in 98. It's over 20 years. Like in 98. So if you're a techie guy, you know what I'm talking about. But I remember when that first came out, and I look at the computers the way it is today, it's like entirely different way of creating and interacting and connecting with people today. And see, another thing you have to realize is like when it comes to me meeting people, I like to go. I'm into technology, so I like to go to conferences, seminars, whether in my area. Sometimes I'll fly out. It might be in New Jersey or could be in Florida. So could be in North Carolina too sometimes. So I like to go to conferences and I like meeting people there. I like to meet people that I have something in common with. Now, some people will say, well, I'll just go to the clubs and meet people or whatever, But the reality is, a lot of people in the clubs that I've met, and the clubs is cool if you want to smash, if you want something, a one nighter or something short term. The clubs and the churches don't have the best quality people in the world. So now some people will say, well, that's not true. I met my wife at church, or I met my wife in the club. Well, if that's the case, consider yourself to be the exception to the rule, because it's just some women that are just unfit to marry in the club or in the church. I mean, that's just how it is. That's not my opinion, but a lot of people that I know that got into relationships with people in the clubs, it just didn't end well. It didn't last long either. Maybe a year, a couple months, And, it's like, I just think we, as men, we need to get out more. The earlier the better, especially when we're in our early 20s and early 30s, because it's just much easier to meet people, and plus it's easier to network, and it's the earlier you start doing whatever you're passionate about doing, you have to discover that. And this is why I always talk about money, because I believe your way of earning money and your way of living has to be intertwined together. Has to be like a lifestyle. That I think I'm not saying something wrong with working a 9-to-5 job. That's cool, but how long are you going to be able to work that 9-to-5 job? Not very long. The odds of you staying at a company for 20, 30 years and getting a pension, the odds are against it today. And, working a job is very tough. Now, some people will say, hey, maybe I can meet my wife at my job. You could. It's possible. But the odds are against it, too. Because in this day and time, people are very sensitive. And, you might end up being fired at your job. Because women tend to be very sensitive. I mean, you can't even give a woman a comment without she's thinking that you're sexual harassing her. So, if you like your job, if you want to work that job for as long as you can, are you willing to take that risk of being fired due to a misunderstanding between you and some woman that thinking that you're harassing her? And the reality is, most of us can't get on a plane and go to places like Brazil, Nigeria, Bahrain, Mexico, Toronto, Colombia, any place that you probably heard of that your friends talk about that is pretty good to meet women or whatever. The reality is that all of us can't go. It takes time and a little bit of money to get on a plane to fly these places. So the majority of us, we have to adapt. And what the fastest way to do that is to, we got to form our own groups of men, kind of like clubs, network, meet people, men and women, come together, make money together, spend time together, get to know each other, travel together, build together, and make the best life you can together. That's my whole purpose of doing this video. And that's how I've been able to meet so many different people through mutual friends. Some of my best friends through mutual people. Now, of course, I've met people by myself, but the fastest way is to meet people through mutual friends, man. And try to find something that y'all have in common. That's really the purpose of me doing this video and answering the question. So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel, share this video with everybody that you know. Check out my blog, ChooseYourRelationships.com. Go buy my gear by the link below this video. Until next time, I'm out. Peace!